Hi, I hope you're all well. If you are new around here, hello, it is lovely to meet you, and if you're returning, thank you very fucking much for coming back. My name's Alana, I'm a 37-year-old lady living in Scotland, and that is where my accent is from. And on this channel we like to talk a lot of beauty, skincare, hair care, lifestyle, travel-y, vloggery bullshit with a liberal sprinkling of sarcasm and cynicism thrown in on top. Now today I was going to do a little July roundup, July favourites, but to be honest with you, it's probably just an overall summer favourites and things like that, because I haven't done one of these since March, I want to say. So it's been a wee while, so I thought I would just chat to you about kind of what I'm enjoying at the moment, recent things that I've tried that I've thought have been absolutely rubbish, and all that other stuff in between. Now, word of warning, I do like the odd sweary word on this channel. If you're not into that kind of thing, I completely understand. Please feel free to vacate. But if it is your kind of thing, there's a wee subscription button in the corner there, and give it a wee thumbs up, all that other YouTuber crap, and let's just get into this. Oh, I was going to say grab yourself a drink. I am so breathless. I don't remember being this breathless this early on last time. Like, breathless is because of block noses. I'm pregnant, by the way, if you're new around here and you didn't know this. The last time I was pregnant, like feeling like you had a block nose, that was kind of like an on-off thing, at night time especially. This time, the size, like somebody coming up into your chest, it's kicking in a bit early this time, and I'm like, oh, so breathless. So if you see me gasping for breath at any point because I'm blabbering too much, you'll know why. This is a, what do you call it? They've changed Lilt. It's now Fanta Tropical. Who knew? Whatever. What was wrong with Lilt? So grab yourself a drink, because I do like a lengthy video. So as I say, I haven't really done anything since March. So I feel like there's quite a few products here that I've picked up and not really came back and been like, is this any good? It's not because I hadn't been here. I hadn't been here like filming that regularly. But first of all, I already spoke about this in a recent empties video. I don't think I need to go into any detail. It's the CeraVe moisturising cream for dry to very dry skin. This is the huge tub. There's about half of it empty at the moment. And I did mention in my recent empties as well that I would be picking another one of these up. And this is that. And it's already half gone because I've been using it so frequently. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I have been continuing to use it in my pregnancy. The reason that I'm mentioning it is because I thought I'm going to pick up this stuff. I used Palmer's cocoa butter. It was more like the lotion though. It was in a bottle the last time, my last pregnancy. And I was like, yeah, it is what it is. It's a cocoa butter. It's nice. I like the scent of this. But what I've noticed in this pregnancy is that my skin was so dry. I don't know if it was just because I was coming out of winter and that's when I fell pregnant or what. But all around like the flank area was so itchy, so dry, so flaky. And then in June when I came back from Greece after I'd been in the sun for a while, oh my God, the dry skin was just mental. I was using this, but I felt it just wasn't doing the job. And that's why I went back to this. So I used the one up I already had and bought another one as well. And this stuff here, the cocoa butter, it says softens rough dry skin. It says it's got 48 hours worth of moisture in it. It's just the classic Palmer's cocoa butter. It is very, very firm. So it's like one of these ones that's like hard to touch until you start putting it on your fingers and then you soften it up. And I stand by, it smells absolutely lovely. It smells divine. It's like, oh, just so, so nice. But it just wasn't cutting it when my skin was like really, really dry. The CeraVe does the job. So I will use this up, but I just felt like, maybe it was just because I was going through a particularly dry skin. Maybe if I go back to this now, it'll be okay. But I won't purchase this again. I wasn't overly impressed with it. And at the same time as buying this one, I also picked up this, which is another Palmer's. And this is their cocoa butter, but it is the body scrub. Now I thought when I was having all this flaky dry skin, well, let's slough off the dry skin. Maybe that's the problem. Let's get rid of it and then we'll put that stuff on top. So I have used probably half of this. I don't know if you can see that there. Again, it's quite a nice scent. It's not as nice as the butter. It's okay. This one's okay. But this just reminds me of the St. Ives face scrub that everybody talks about from years ago. It's almost not scrubby enough. I wouldn't be using it on my face, that's for sure. I wouldn't be using it on my face. But it doesn't have that feeling like, do you ever put a body scrub on and because it's not sticky enough, it just kind of runs off the skin in the shower? So I like step out of the running water when I'm doing a body scrub. So you're rubbing it all on, but but it just felt like it wasn't actually like adhering to the skin. You're just kind of moving it about over the top of your skin. I don't feel like it was doing that much. So if I want a body scrub, I think the ones that are based in a kind of more oil substance and they're a bit thicker are better than the ones that are in like this lotion type thing. I really didn't enjoy this. I will not buy it again. Like I say, it reminds me of the St. Ives facial scrub from years and years ago, but no, I didn't like it. I won't buy it again. I just picked it up because at the time, I think Superdrug they had an offer on and it was 3 for 2 or whatever, and I thought, well, I'll get a couple of them to try. Buy one, get one half price, whatever it was. But as I was saying, I bought that, tried it, and then was like, no, I'm going back to my old classic. So I went into Boots to find the Soap and Glory, the breakfast scrub, which is one of these ones that is in it's like a sugary scrub, but it's in almond oil as well. Now, they didn't have the breakfast one, and the breakfast one is my favourite one. It smells like kind of bananas, pancakes, maple syrup. It's delightful. But they didn't have it. So I don't know if they've discontinued that. If they have discontinued that, I'll be very upset. But I picked up this one, which is the Sugar Crush body scrub, and it is brown sugar, sweet lime, almond oil and macadamia grains. So this is more bitty. Can you see it's kind of shiny there? I feel like it almost sticks to the skin, and then when you're rubbing it on your skin in the shower, it has a kind of scrubby but also oily feeling, which is a nice mixture to make your skin, it's like you're sloughing it off but you're also locking in the moisture. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very, very nice. The scent is very, very fruity, like fresh, zesty smell, like limes. So I do prefer the scent of the other one, but this I'm not averse to. I think it's very, very nice. And in the summer months, it is quite nice. I'm saying that and it's pushing with rain today. See, if I keep seeing people down south, I think I already said this, talking about heat waves and all this other crap. Somebody quite recently talking about how they want it to be autumn. I'm like, not even just people down south, people in America. Well, I've seen you talking about how you want it to be autumn, and I'm like, wouldn't it have been nice to have had a summer? Because let me tell you, the day it is like the middle of fucking potentially October, but probably September. It's so wet and no, I hate it. But for summer months, I would probably like the lime one. If I can't get the breakfast scrub anymore, then I will pick this one up because I think it's nice. I like it. But in saying that, I picked up this. It's a little bar of soap. I've used it obviously, so it doesn't look as nice as when I bought it. There might even be a pube on there. No, it's just a head here. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This is from a little company called Bee Seep Organic, I want to say. They're based in Glasgow actually, because I picked it up at a market up in Fife. So I thought maybe they were more local to Fife or East Fife, but they're actually based in Glasgow. So basically they go from market to market. It's all these little kind of handmade little, whether it's jewellery, cosmetics, food, like, you know, these little markets you get that are all like local small businesses. They go from lots of different places, but you can buy them online as well. So I will put their website down below. And this is just their oat milk, like oat bar, right? But it's got lots of little kernels in it and oat kernels in it. And it's so scrubby and it's so good. And I started using this at the same time as I started using the CeraVe again. And I feel like maybe if I use this and the Palmer's together, I'll feel differently about this. Because maybe this was doing a really good job of like sloughing stuff off. I've been using this almost daily in the shower. It's also got a really nice like texture to it. It leaves behind a nice kind of texture on the skin, other than it being exfoliating. Like I say, it leaves a kind of almost locking in the moisture, feeling like a nice kind of oily feeling on the skin as well, and leaves the skin really soft. So I've been using this all over the body, all over the bump, all that kind of stuff, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I am going to order more from these. If I don't get to, I think they do one up at the market in Shawlands, it's the Park Lane market. They sometimes go to that. If I can't see them in person at a market local to me, then I will buy them. Then I will go online and buy them again. I definitely am going to pick up this soap again. I think it's fantastic. I feel like there's a lot of shower stuff. It's probably just because I haven't been wearing that much makeup, but also because, you know, when you're coming out of the shower and you're like, I'm so big, I'm so rotund and all that kind of stuff, you've got a big bump and stuff going on now. I have been really feeling like that's my wee moment of luxury. Like that's what I've been wanting to do. And I spoke about this a while ago. This is the Faves Bath Body and Massage Oil. So you can put this in the bath, you can put it on your body, it's all good. It's neroli, amber and santal. And I remember saying basically, you know, it's an oil, it's an oil, it's an oil, it's an oil, it's nice. And I said it's very nice, it's very luxurious, it is kind of pricey for what it is. Am I going to buy one again? Probably not. I kind of stand by all that stuff that I said. However, you'll notice now, like it's down here somewhere, right? And that has pretty much just been in pregnancy, because I have been reaching for this almost daily coming out the shower. If it's not been the CeraVe, then it's been this. And the reason for that is, I'm not going to go back on what I said and say like, oh yeah, it's total value for money. Like the CeraVe is the price it is. You get a whole tub of it and it lasts for ages. You can probably buy it on buy one, get one half price, blah, blah, blah. But because that's been my moment of luxury, because getting out the shower and actually just smoothing stuff all over myself has been my thing at the moment, rather than putting a face of makeup on, I feel like this has been really, really nice and really what I'm needing, just to make myself feel a little bit nicer and smell a bit. Like I come out the shower and I've got my house coat on, and even when I picked my house coat up the other day to put it back on at the end of the day, I was like, it smells all nice and like bougie. And it is nice. And I think so, let me put it this way, if you know somebody that's just recently found out they're pregnant, whether it's first time pregnancy or otherwise, I think if you bought this for them, that would be a really nice present. That's what I'm trying to say. Because it is bougie, it's kind of expensive, but if you want something to make you feel like, oh, I'm being a bit luxurious here, then yes, this is going to do that. So I'm not saying that everybody needs to run out and buy this, but the fact that I had it, I'm now really, really thankful that I had it. There's dogs, can you hear the dogs? You maybe can't, and I might just look like an absolute nutter now, but there's, is there 2 dogs in my building or 3? 2, I think. There's one right up the stairs, and then there's one across from me, and it's not that they just like each other, it's just like one will hear the other one and then they start barking mad, like blah blah blah. We have been viewing houses recently. To get out this building would be nice, and there's nothing to do with my neighbours, they're very nice, it's just I just need my own space now. I've kind of mentioned that as well. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, so I think at the time I was like, yeah, it's a really nice body oil, it's a body oil, it's a body oil, and it is still just a body oil. I'm not going to like upsell it to you, but if you know somebody who's just recently became pregnant, this might be a really, really nice treat to give them, because it does make you feel really bougie when you put it on. It does feel nice. It's really nice on the bump. I've found as well when I've been putting it on over that area, like the bump and things like that, that the end of the day, I'm still really like, oil isn't hydrating per se, it's more smoothing and moisturising and stuff like that. But it's keeping my skin the way it was after the shower. Like I don't feel like as if it's drying my skin out, whereas I've used other oil things before and they've just not been hydrating, and I feel like I still have to lock something in underneath them, whereas I feel like this does a really good job of both. And I'm enjoying it, even though I was like, meh, it's okay. I agree, but in pregnancy I'm really liking it. The other thing, total other end of the spectrum here, that I'm going to tell you about is from Lidl. And the reason I'm telling you about it, right, because it's obviously a dupe for Dove, right? It's obviously a dupe for Dove. This is their shower cream. This is the almond oil one. Now, this here, cheaper than Dove, does the exact same thing. Smells fantastic. And I've went through 3 bottles of this as well in pregnancy. Shower time has become the time where I'm really enjoying just like having a moment to myself. So I feel like this is lovely. The Dove one is lovely too, like I wouldn't deny it, but this is just as good and it is cheap as chips. So if you're in Lidl, if you're a Lidl shopper, get your fucking hands on it. I think the only other thing I've got to tell you about is this from Altruist. I bought this. Did I buy this? I bought this before I went away to Greece, so probably back in May. And the reason that I picked it up is because like way back in May when I thought we might actually have our summer, we had a nice day and I didn't have any sunscreen in my bag, and I was with Jack as well, and I thought I need something for my face, I need something for myself, but more importantly I need something for him. So we went into a local pharmacy near me. You can actually see there's a little paper price tag on it there. I've heard loads of people speak about this over the years. This is their SPF of 50, but this is face and body. It doesn't just have to be for your face. Obviously the size of it, I would say, is maybe more of a facial sunscreen, but it's for both. And it was $5.75, which in the grand scheme of things, if this is for your body as well, probably not going to last that long. It's probably not that great value for money. But if you are just using this for your face, then it is actually a lot less expensive than a lot of higher end ones that are just for your face. Does that make sense? Like your La Roche-Posay's, all that kind. It is actually much more affordable, and it is a 100ml tube than a lot of the other kind of more bougie brands that you see, your kind of scientific brands that you see in Boots and Superdrug. And what I find is that this is really good for no white cast, goes really well under makeup, but also I find that it's not nipping my eyes, which all of those fancy scientific brands that I see in Boots and stuff like that do as well. So actually I thought this was a pretty good steal actually, and I've still been using it. I have also been using, just to link into that, the e.l.f. Woe Glow. This is SPF of 30 though, this one is 50. So I've been using both. Again, when you're having a UV index of like 0, most days, I would still put SPF on, but I'm not like running to this, whereas I'm wearing this pretty much every day. If I'm putting, even if I'm not putting makeup on, I'm putting this on. If I'm having a day where I'm like, I don't need makeup on, I'm still putting this on. But if it's a day where I think, oh, it actually looks like there's a bit more sun in the sky today, I'm putting the 50 on. And I know there'll be people like, you should always wear the 50. I agree with you, you should. But honestly, there's been days where I've just been like, I'm not even leaving this house because it's just miserable, it's horrible. So most of the time I've been wearing this. I have this in the shade Sunbeam. It does come in different shades, and I think it's really nice. It's what I've got on today actually as a bit of a base, and I think it's really good. I do have a little bit of a foundation on over the top because I thought I was filming, so I thought I may as well put on something on my face, but most of the time it's just this on its own. So moving into more makeupy stuff, I have this one today. It is the number 7 Hydra Luminous. I have been speaking about this for years when it was back in the black packet. I don't know if you remember. It was in my yearly favourites for a good few years running, and then I started picking up other things. But I repurchased it earlier this year because I just thought it's so good, I need to get another one. It's also one quite recently that I've put a friend onto who is like, I never wear makeup, I don't like any foundation, I don't do makeup, I don't do foundation, but I'm going to a wedding, I don't know what to wear. And I said to them, like, this is a really good one. I gave them some other options as well, but I feel like it says it's medium coverage. I would say it's light. It's light to medium buildable. I don't think that it is a heavy foundation at all. I don't use loads of it when I put it on, to be fair, but it is not a heavy foundation. I do not say this is medium coverage. It is definitely more of a light coverage. So if you are somebody who's used to like a full face, and you see this as medium, you think, oh, medium, that could probably be for my light. You might think, actually, you put it on and think this is just like a tinted moisturiser. It's a very fine line between a foundation and a tinted moisturiser, but I love it. It's so, so good, and especially like, I'm obviously 37 now, but I do have dry skin as well. This is fantastic. I use it all year round, to be honest with you, but in the summer months I really enjoy it as well. It does have an SPF of 15, but let's face it, you should be putting that stuff or the e.l.f. underneath it anyway. But I am warm ivory in this as well, and I think it's a really, really good colour match. So I have gently been dipping my toe back into makeup, and when I have been wearing it, this is what I've been putting on. Otherwise, as I say, it's just been the e.l.f. I have been putting on my stretch concealer. It's in the drawer over there. I'm not going over to get it. I recently spoke about it over on Instagram, and I've spoken about it here a few times as well. The fact, obviously, they changed the shade range to include more colours, which is great. But they changed it from like the G1 to 11 or whatever it was. They changed it from the letter number situation to actual names. So when I contacted Glossier and said to them, listen, in your new range, what do you think I am? They said they thought I was light 2. Light 2 arrived through my door, and I was like, this is darker than like my summer colour. Like, this is really dark. They were great. They reimbursed me. It was no problem. So I recently went to Space NK and seen them in person, and I figured out that I am actually very light 4. That is a much more truer colour match to G11, which is what I was usually. And in the summer months, I used to be G10. So I still have a G10 because I had a backup of that one, and I don't use it as often as the other one. But G11 is now very light 4 as far as I'm concerned. It works really nicely. So I did pick up another one of them as well. Otherwise, there's not been that much. I've barely been wearing any eyeshadow. I think I've got one eyeshadow to show you today. For basey products, I have still been reaching for the Milk Makeup matte bronzer. What is this? Is it just a matte bronzer? Yeah, and Baked. I think I mentioned as well over on Instagram quite recently that this is very nearly done. I've had it for a year. It's lasted me a year. This is the size they are now. They used to be a lot bigger than this. And they last, do they last for 12 months? Yeah, it's a 12-month one. But this is nearly finished now. I keep reaching for it over and over again. I really like it. But one that I've quite recently been reaching for, when we have had the odd day of sunny weather, is this one from Studio London again, and it is their Flaunt Flawless Bronze and Cream. I picked this up last year, and you can see, like, I have done a really good number on this. I have hit pan on this quite a lot. I've done a great number on that, so I'm getting through it. It's doing a really good job. I think this is a really, really good dupe for the Danessa Myricks. Oh, what were they called? I can't remember the name of it now. I've just sat there and tried to remember. It was released a few years ago. I've mentioned it before on this channel. If I can remember, I'm going to put the name on the screen somewhere. Very, very good dupe for that. I have the shade number 4, which might seem a wee bit dark for me, but see, because I've got the darker hair, I've said that before, I can get away with slightly darker bronzer. As for blushers, there's not really been too much change, but I've been reaching for this again. This is the Danessa Myricks. Is it Blur and Balm? What do they call them? Yummy Skin. I want to say it's Blur and Balm, but this is like the blush version, and this is in Golden Hour. Again, I picked this up a year ago when I was in London. I'm making a bit of a dent in it, but not too much. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. A lot of the time I do use it as a blush, but I also have put it on my lips because I think it's a beautiful colour. So I've been reaching for this again on the days where it has been a little bit more sunny. But as a whole, I've been reaching for this the most. And I almost feel bad talking about this. Because I mentioned over on Instagram, and I maybe mentioned in a couple of vlogs recently as well, this was sent to me. I had no idea it was coming to me. It is from Giorgio Armani. And it is in Rosy Peach, I want to say. It is their Luminous Silk cheek tint rather than the Luminous Silk foundation, which they are very famous for. It's so nice. It's what I've got on today. It's just really buildable. It's really easy. Even on days where I'm like, I'm putting no makeup on, I'm just going to stick this on. Maybe I don't even have mascara on. If I have to pop this on the cheeks, it just makes me look a little bit more healthy, a little bit more alive, a little bit more glowy. It actually, does it market itself as a matte blush? I can't remember. I don't find it to be overly matte. It's called Luminous Silk, so, you know, maybe more of a silk finish. But it's so nice. And I feel bad telling you about it because it's £36. £36. Do I think, and you know, I did want to try a Giorgio Armani cream blush a wee while ago, and I remember they had one. It was a beautiful colour that I really liked, but it was like compact. It was more like this style of blush. This one is a little bit more like doe foot, like the Rare Beauty one, but I think these ones are nowhere near as pigmented as the Rare Beauty or the e.l.f. Camo blushes. They are much, much more workable, sheer, buildable, but also subtle, and they're just, it's beautiful. It's really, really nice. I'm really sorry because I know like on this channel a lot of the time, like I've said to you, Dove isn't expensive, but if you can go and get the Cien one out of Lidl even cheaper, I'm going to tell you go and do that. But honestly, this is really fucking nice. Really fucking nice. So if you want to go and treat yourself to something from Giorgio Armani, maybe you got some vouchers, maybe you got some Boots points, I can't say enough about these. They're really fucking nice, and it was sent to me, but you know, I don't think there's a wide colour range on them. This one is definitely the one that I would have went for anyway, but maybe if they brought another one out, would I buy it again? Potentially, yes, because it's very, very nice. Very, very fucking nice. Powder blush wise, I've been reaching for this loads. It is the Vive. It's the first one I ever bought from them. It is their Sunset blush in Sorbet. I just like it. It's a really, really nice summer colour. It's that kind of coral. It's not quite pink. It's got a little hint of oranginess to it as well. I like it. Sometimes I'll put this on and put this over the top. Really nice. Like it. Enjoy it. I said I only had one eyeshadow to talk to you about, which is true. However, I've got one that I do have to tell you about that's absolutely shite as well. So let's do that first. So Lancome sent me, they actually sent me two kind of mailers. They sent me, the mailers, I fucking sound so American. They sent me two PR packages, right? And one was all about the Idol range, which is the Lash Idol I've told you about for years, that I think is a beautiful, beautiful mascara. I do still regularly wear it. So they sent me a Lash Idol, so I had another one of them. So I've put that in my drawer and I'm using that now as well. But it also came with this, which is the Idol Tint. Now, when I looked these up, it would suggest that this is a liquid eyeshadow, but they also have Idol Tint that can also be an eyeshadow and a blush. I don't know. This is in the shade 01. It's like a goldy champagne colour. And it also came with the Idol Ultra Precise Waterproof Liner as well. So these came in a packet together along with a Lash Idol mascara. Lash Idol mascara, I love it. You're not going to hear me say a bad word about it. These two products, however, I had never tried before, and I thought, well, let's give them a go. Let me just tell you right now, this eye product, shite. Utter shite. Do not waste your money on it. That sounds really, really harsh. I'm sorry, Lancome. I'm sorry, L'Oreal. But no, just no. There are so many other brands doing this style of an eyeshadow, like liquid eyeshadow, liquid topper type of thing, and doing it so much better, and it's so much less expensive. You do not need to be buying this. I don't even think the colour range is that interesting. Basically, when I put it on my eye, I don't know if you've seen the Instagram stories. When I put it on my eye, I put it on one eye, okay, because usually I'd like dab a little bit on both eyes and then smudge them in. Luckily, I didn't do that. I put it on one eye, started to buff it out to see how it would work. It almost dried instantly, like instantly. So I ended up with all these patchy bits and clumpy bits, and it brushed away from other bits and was another... No. No, no, no. Do not like it. Do not recommend it. Do not fucking spend your money on it. This, however, the waterproof liner, I thought was quite nice. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, it is a felt tip liner. It's not a brush tip, in case that's what you're looking for, because I know lots of people do. The packaging of this feels very flimsy. Now, not in itself, like this packaging feels flimsy, but see when I'm taking the lid off, it's almost like, see if this was in a bag, if you threw this in your hand, that's going to just come off. It doesn't click, and I've tried, believe me, like, I've tried to push and push it, because I thought, have I just not clicked that on there? Because you do think a product like this should be secure, right? It's not secure. It's very, very flimsy, the lid of this, and it comes off so easily. So I just want to make you aware of that, because actually the applicator itself, the liner when it went on was very nice. The longevity of it was very nice as well. It's obviously a waterproof one, so that's great. But what I will say is this going to dry out fast because of that lid? I don't know. Can you throw it in a bag? No, I definitely don't think you could. Again, it's very, very expensive for what it is. It's not doing anything groundbreaking. It's a black liquid liner, basically. It's nice. It's very nice. But is it any better than my Renaissance liner from Revolution? This is about £4 or £5. Just, I have to say it, I'm sorry. I really like this one, and this one, the lid is much better. So it's also like a felt tip nib there. Let me just draw two of them on the back of my hand so you can see. I actually think this one, and I've had that for ages. I have had that liquid liner for ages, is wetter and like better inky wise than this one. I mean, they're both really nice, they are, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm like, do you need to pay nearly 30 quid potentially for this one when you can get this one for £4 or £5? No, no you don't. This one here is the Revolution one. It's a little skinnier. This one here is the Lancome. But honestly, is there any difference? No, not really. Not really in the grand scheme of things. So I'm kind of like, just save your pennies and get the Renaissance one and spend something nicer. Get yourself the mascara. Get yourself the mascara from Lancome instead of the liner, because you can buy the liner 10 a penny from other places. Also, did you notice I've got pink nails on? I feel like the Barbie core, it's really like glittery pink nail polish. Should have had this last year. When Barbie came out, but I was just feeling pink this week. I don't know why. What else was I going to tell? Oh yes, this is the other thing they sent me in the same mailer. So the parcel also came with 2 lip liners and this from Lancome. The lip liner itself I kept. There was 2 shades. One was called The Tea is Hot. The other one was something nude. But I've given that one away because it was too pale. It was never going to suit me. This one is The Tea is Hot. I have it on today. Let me just show you the exact colour of the lip liner. The lip liner itself is very, very nice. Very, very soft, creamy. I did like that. That is it here. And it is a kind of your lips, but better colour for me. It's that kind of slightly just warmer, little orangey toned, my version of what a nude would be. And then they sent this, which was like some sort of, there was a really long name for this. Some mad squalene lip balm type thing. Beautiful packaging. There we go. You can see it in this little tube here. And you clip it out. Here we go. This is identical identical to the Dior Addict lip glows. So if you already have the Dior Addict lip glow in one, which I do, that's why I've brought it out to show you, you do not need this. They even have a similar scent, like that minty scent. You can see how much I've used of my Dior Addict. I've had a good crack at it. I use the orange one more often, if I'm honest. But these, can you see? These are identical. I think this one has it's a little bit more thick. Slightly, maybe a little bit more thick, but I don't know if that was just because it was the first time I was using it. It felt like it was a wee bit stiffer. This is a little bit more slippery, but you don't need both of these. So it's not that I'm saying this is rubbish, it's not. But if you've already got this, you don't need this. That's what I'm going to say. If this one's running out and you want to try something different, then give this a go. You don't need both. I think this one is slightly more expensive, but pounds in it, like £2 in it. This one, if it's on offer, then obviously I would say we'll go and pick the cheaper one up. This one I got in duty free, so I actually did get it on offer along with the other one that I've got. You just don't need both of them. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not saying it's a bad product from Lancome. I just don't think you need both of them. Otherwise, for kind of stuff that I've been putting on, actually, let me tell you about mascaras, because that's kind of been the same as well. The e.l.f. Lash Extender for the days when I'm just not really wanting anything if I'm putting something on. I think it's a fantastic mascara. I would purchase another one of these once I've run out of this one. It's a great tubing mascara. It's the tubing mascara in the truest sense of the word. You could just use water to slide it off your face. Absolutely. I think it is fantastic. Really, really good. But again, as I said, Lancome had sent me 2 parcels and the other one was the mascaras, and I'm saying the mascaras, but it was all the Hypnose range, because Hypnose mascara is their kind of thing. I remember loving the Monsieur Big mascara from Lancome. I haven't used it for years, but it was always a really, really nice one. So they sent me this out, and this is the Hypnose Drama. They sent out the original Hypnose, this, and the primer, like the, what is this called again? It's Cleese Booster, so it's like basically just a primer. It's a lash primer, right? So the Hypnose one I gave away because I was like, well, I don't need it. I've got a million mascaras, but I want to try the one with the drama because I quite like a little bit of boost on the volume. And actually the mascara I've got on today, I wonder if I can zoom you in a wee bit so you can see, because I don't have any big eyeshadow or liner on. So I'm hoping you can see there. That is the Hypnose Drama, and it is with the primer underneath it as well, and I think it's really, really nice. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's lovely. I feel a little bit like, do you desperately need these two? No, but this is a totally different kettle of fish. This is like just long, lengthening, fanning, beautiful. Somebody recently had messaged me over on Instagram and they said, have you tried the L'Oreal Panoramic mascara? And they were saying how that was very similar but also gave you that boost of volume, or similar to Lash Idol. Is that what they were telling me about? I think they said it was similar to Lash Idol, but it didn't have, like, it wasn't overly clumpy. It was beautiful, and it's obviously a lot cheaper. And I said to them, no, I haven't tried that. And funnily enough, then L'Oreal actually had sent me one over with the Panoramic in it as well, but I've not tried that yet, so I'm not going to get into that and tell you about it. These, however, like the primer and the mascara, I think are very nice. I've been wearing it with slightly more dramatic looks. I put it on today just to show you because I thought, well, I'll tell them what it looks like, because I'm sure you have seen the e.l.f. one loads. It's very, very nice. I think, like, can you get slightly cheaper mascaras in the drugstore? Of course you can, but it's a nice one. I like it. I think it's okay. Will I rush to buy this one again? I probably would go for the Lash Idol over this one. I'm not going to lie to you. I've said it over the years, like the Lash Idol, even though it is a more high-end mascara, is a little bit more expensive. I would happily pay the price for it again. This one, I just feel I don't necessarily need it, but I'm enjoying using it. I think that's kind of it for makeup. I mean, like I said, I had one eyeshadow. If I've been putting anything on, it's this from Bodyography. It's Solar Flare. It's one of their glitter pigment pots, because I really haven't been putting very much on the eyes at all. I also, lips wise, haven't been, like, I've been using the balms quite a lot, but I've been reaching for Cake from Glossier quite a lot, which again, you can see I've made a really good dent in that. It's probably my favourite version of a neutral, and Villa, which is one of their Ultra Lips as well, which again, that one is well and truly being used. Like, I love this. That's what I've kind of topped over today. And it's a lovely one. I really, really like it. It's kind of a nude for me, but it still gives you a little bit of colour. If I've been wanting a red lip, I've been going for my Violet FR Petal Bouche, and this one is in Cerise Desir, I want to say. It's a beautiful, like, blood red colour. I've spoken about these before. They are not the most comfortable, but the finish of them, I'd kind of compromise because the finish of them is so nice. And lastly, what I'm going to tell you about is this from Batiste. Can you fucking believe it? I think I mentioned it recently, maybe in my empties video. I really hate Batiste dry shampoo. I've never really enjoyed it, even though I know it's like one of the OG original ones. It always caused me to have a cast in my hair. I didn't like it. I've found other ones that I prefer. However, this is the Overnight Deep Cleanse, and I thought, well, if I buy the overnight one, I put it in at night time, and in the morning when I wake up, maybe it won't look so white casty. It was kind of the only thing I could get my hands on. And actually, I really like it. And it's not just when I'm using it at night. I've been using it in the morning as well, and it's been doing really well. So I don't know, maybe they've just slightly changed their formula a bit, and it's better now, not leaving quite as much of a white cast. But this is really nice. I'm really enjoying it. I eat my words because I was always like, I will never buy a Batiste dry shampoo, but this is very, very nice. And I reckon that is it. That is everything for like what I've been using recently. Oh, and now I'm going to go and potentially lie back on this chair or lie back on the couch. I feel like this child has managed to get itself, all sorts of funny shapes, because I am not as comfortable as I was with Jack. I really am not. I can feel them kicking, like I feel them kicking no bother. But it's almost like Jack was always head down. Every scan I went for, he was always head down, like from a pretty early age. But this baby has been sideways, upways, buttways, whatever ways. And I can feel like they keep kicking me in my butthole. They keep kicking me in my bladder. I'm like, you are not the same way round as your brother was. You definitely are not. And I feel like almost they're probably lying sideways at the moment. Like, they are just causing me some serious discomfort. So I think I need to go and lie down for a little bit. We even went to view some houses this weekend. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot. I don't think I've mentioned that in the vlogs yet because it was early days. Early days, once we think, maybe we might go for this, maybe I'll change my mind and start mentioning it. But the ball is rolling now. The ball is rolling and there's not a lot of time left. This is stress to the full capacity at the moment. So that's where I'm going to leave it, and I will see you all again in the next one. Bye.